Yo, what's happening? It's your boy Remy Muzik. We about to turn it up a notch and chop it up.
Turn me up!
We be going over time. We be going over time.
What them haters are saying. Tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
They gon' make me ride on this one, nigga.
We be going over
Get
time.
'em.
We be going over time. We be going over time. Take it.
Hey, tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
Tell me what you want.
Take it. We be going over time.
Y'all gon' make me come out.
Chop it up.
Can't be out here looking stupid. Dollars make sense, this music really cooking. I promised I'ma make it, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I took a lot of losses, but I'm still standing, still in the struggle.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You know who it is. It's your boy Sos Dior. Man, we got a dope-ass episode today on another series on the podcast. This is all about artists, and today's special guest is Remy Muzik. How you doing,
What's
Remy?
happening, man? Pleasure, bro. I appreciate you 1000%. This is amazing.
Man, you know, it's unfortunately it's been too long, because you know what I'm saying, like, we've been working behind the scenes, y'all. We got a new song coming out. It's called B-Side, that Remy Muzik had featured on for me, but it's just taking a little bit of time because, you know, we're just trying to catch up on schedules. For those of you who do not live in the Washington area, it's like comparing like the 5 boroughs of New York, like the distance between us as far as, like, you know, him being from like a different part of the city. So it takes a little bit of coordination to make all this happen. But before we get started, I like to celebrate with a toast. You know what I'm saying? I don't typically do this, but it's for special occasions. But I'll give you guys a little bit of context about this. So, long story short, well, it's gonna be a long story. So, some of you guys might have seen there was a video that came out, and the song was called Victory Lap. So Victory Lap was a tribute to Nipsey.
Man, one of the greatest to ever touch a microphone, man, on life.
Yeah. So give you guys a little bit of context. So, some of y'all know, like, my music career started in Canada, but I'm just now breaking out in the U.S. scene. So part of it was, you know, I was doing my thing in Canada, get kicked out of the country for doing music, come back to the States, and at the time I wasn't recording as an artist anymore. I was really more focused on, you know, just trying to get my life together. I DJ'd to make a little, you know, bit of money here and there. Well, long story short, I got a call one day and they was like, "Hey, Sos, we need you to DJ." So I was like, "Okay, cool, no problem." We're gonna start over.
All right.
Chop it up.
What's going on, y'all? You know who it is. It's your boy Sos Dior. Got a new episode for you guys on the new series for all of the artists. Today's feature is Remy Muzik.
What's happening, y'all?
So, thank y'all for tuning in. We got a lot to cover, so I gotta catch up a couple of minutes. So, long story short, we was just talking about it. One of my songs I had was called Victory Lap, which was for Nipsey Hussle. So, Nipsey, I had a chance to work with him before I knew who he was. So,
wow.
Long story short, I was doing my thing in Canada, got kicked out of the country, came back to the States, was DJing to make a little bit of money here and there, got a phone call. And the phone call was, "Hey, I need you to DJ for this show." So I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." So I'm at the show, I'm DJing, Nipsey walks out, I don't know who he is, and he kills the show. The show just goes bananas. I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" And
Man, that's the first artist the first time I heard him was when I moved out here like 6 years ago. And man, blew my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, like, I had a chance to work with Nipsey live, but didn't know who Nipsey was. And so I was trying to figure out, I'm like, who's this Nipsey guy? Like, never heard of him before, right? Because in Canada, I just never heard of him. So, fast forward the tape. So I'm back recording music. Just dropped a new song called Victory Lap. I went to LA to shoot the video. So, to tell you a little bit more, I flew my videographer, photographer, and security guy to LA to shoot the video. So we already knew what the routine was, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the videographer misses the flight, and by the time I catch up to him, he's like eating chicken wings and licking his fingers, and he's like, "Hey, I can't get your time back, what do you want to do?" What? So I was like, all right, so now I'm pissed, right? Because I already lost half the day. I'm renting a penthouse room that was $1,500 a night to rent it.
And this dude eating chicken wings.
And he's just eating chicken wings, right? So, long story short, well, everything, I keep saying long story short, but they're all meant to be short stories, but long stories. There was a scene in the penthouse room that I was supposed to have, like, I was supposed to just touch down in the video, like I just got off the flight, I go to my hotel room, and I'm getting ready to do my business in LA. So here's where the story gets interesting. So this box, y'all, is part of that set from the original video shoot that I went to LA. So it's a custom one-off set. I don't know if the cameras will be able to pick it up, but
yeah, that's beautiful.
But it's basically like a full-on glass case from a place that I got down in LA, in West Beverly.
The camera is beautiful.
So
it's literally,
and so part of it was in acquiring this, when the videographer was eating the chicken wings and licking his fingers, I opted to, instead of me whooping somebody's ass that day, I was like, you know what? Made a phone call, and I just fly home. I was like, you know what? They're not serious about my shit. I'm gonna fly home. So the West Beverly place that I stayed at, I literally left this behind because I was like, I have no way to carry this on the flight, right? Because I have my bag, all my clothes and all that. So I left this at the hotel, right? And I literally left it out like where the valet section would, because I was like, well, hey, it's brand new. I'm not gonna throw it away. So I was hoping that like one of the valet people would take it and keep it for themselves, right? If I'm gonna give it away, give it to someone who could actually use it.
nice.
So I leave the hotel, right? Not even 5 minutes after leaving the hotel calls me and they're like, "Hey, you left your glasses behind." So I was like, "Oh yeah, oh my bad. I'm gonna come back and get them." Right? Meanwhile, I'm already on my way to the airport. So I'm like, I'm not turning around. So I leave, I go to the airport, right? Fast forward the tape, I ended up acquiring all my own video production gear. I fly back to LA to go reshoot the Victory Lap video. I stay at the exact same hotel that I stayed at. Guess what was sitting there waiting for me?
Man, that's a beautiful thing.
My box untouched. They literally kept my glasses for like almost 2.5 months and never touched it.
Man, that's a hotel you gotta cherish.
So, needless to say, these glasses have special meaning. So, fast forwarding the tape to now, I would like to celebrate with Remy, and we're gonna toast to the B-side music video. So, first off, I just want to say, thank you, because ultimately, it's not very often you get to work with an artist who is as humble as you are.
Yeah, I've tried. Life is too short to be out here with an ego that stands taller than you do. It's really just about, being humble, appreciating life as a whole, and, being thankful for the blessings. This is a huge blessing. I appreciate you.
Man, so giving a little bit of background, what got you into music?
Man, I've been singing since I was a kid. Church choir and all that is knee high. But even in middle school and things like that, I was in a gifted choir, and I loved it. But at the time, I was so wrapped up in what people thought that I decided I wasn't cool being in choir. So I decided to quit that. But I always loved it. Getting older, my buddy, and it's funny, I got a friend from Akron, Ohio, which is actually I grew up in Canton, but Akron's, just a rock's throw away. Mm-hmm. It was funny because he was on big tour buses with his face, and they were in a group called The Kennel. I don't know if you're familiar, but they deal with Ampacino and a lot of the people from Akron that have kind of made it big. Okay. P3 and Shoddy Boy, and a lot of people that actually have a pretty big name out here. But I'm dealing with him, and man, he takes me into the studio, and the first song I record, man, it was horrible song. But I listened to it for the first 3 months, the only CD that ever touched my car. Mm-hmm. Man, I got it playing. I'm like, bro, this is awesome. I got to do this for a living now. So I went out and I got into music school. I bought a studio, and I went ahead and I just dedicated myself to the music. To fast forward all that, I'm sitting there and I do my first show. I got a buddy of mine from high school, and he's got a studio and everything. So I'm like, I need to have one of these. So I get my studio and everything set up, and I throw my first show, I get robbed for my flyer. So I have to learn how to do my own artwork. You know, I'm like, I'm not paying for anything. I'm just going to do all this to myself. So I started learning individually, piece by piece, how to operate a fully functional record studio. You know, learned from the label to top to the bottom. You know, from videos to graphics to engineering. You know, and now, 20 years later, I'm still doing this. And, it's supported me, for greater or worse, throughout the years, the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing. Music is literally a healing entity, and it started because literally like therapy. I started writing music for therapy, a way to voice myself in a way that I could help others deal with the kind of things that mentally I was going through, or situationally I've been through, and it just gave me a voice that I didn't know how to voice on my own. Okay. So it ended up just being something that stuck. People are like, bro, you still doing music? And I'm like, bro, like yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Are you still working for that guy over there? He's still paying your check? And they're just like, yeah, dude, fuck you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. It's a beautiful life to be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want, and not have to answer to nobody.
Yeah. That's what I like about this podcast in particular is that like people ask me all the time, like when I ask them to be a guest on the show, and they're always like, yo, so what are you gonna ask me? And I'm like, it's not scripted, because if it's scripted, that takes the whole point out of just keeping it real and like just having conversation. So like for me, it's like no, I'm not about a script. Like I just want to talk, get to know who I'm working with, and
exactly,
like learn about them as a human being. Because like we, we are artists, but at the same point, like I didn't know you was from Akron. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or from Kenton.
Right, and I didn't know you did football. Like
so,
that's cool.
Yeah.
My buddy actually, the guy who runs my label, actually owns a basketball team back in Akron.
Oh, okay.
The Akron Aviators.
No shit.
Yeah. He bought himself a basketball team. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, you went, what? Okay, cool, I'm done with you. Like, literally, congratulations.
Yeah.
And he deals with all kinds of people. And for VIP Records to be in Long Beach and them to sign me, and him to be from Akron and be part of the ownership of, said label and dealing with Empire and just really just plugging me into a whole outlet full of things, including actually doing some graphics for Warren G.
No shit.
Which was amazing. Like to grow up listening to Warren G and Nate Dogg and all that, and to be able to do some artwork for him.
Yeah. Man,
it was just huge for me. Like,
it's kind of surreal because not that long ago, a couple months ago, there was a show at Angel of the Winds Arena up in Everett.
Yes.
And Funk Daddy was performing, the show with E.15 and all these guys, and it was really interesting. So RJ, who's the host, works with Funk Daddy. So the two of them are on stage. I'm filming both of them, for RJ's podcast called the 411 Experience. So I'm filming him for his podcast, but watching Funk Daddy. So what was crazy about that was while I was filming, there's like these flight cases. So for those of you guys who don't know what a flight case is, I'll make sure I put the picture on so you can see what a flight case looks like. But what was crazy was one of the flight cases said Warren G. And so it was kind of surreal because it's like, I'm like, wait, like, I don't ever get that ha-ha moment, like, wait, that's so-and-so, but it was, at that particular moment, I did, and I caught myself, and I was like, oh, look, that's Warren G's flight case, and I was like, and so.
Right, it's crazy how, like, man, dealing with the music industry, and dealing with life in general. I mean, you talk about, like, back in high school, you got little groups of people and things, and different levels to everything. But even in the music industry, it's crazy. I'll run into people that I know through somebody, and it's like the levels that you get throughout the industry, you start dealing with people that it's like you run into somebody from across the country you never met. Yeah. And it ends up, so-and-so, and they know so-and-so, so next thing you know, you're dealing with each other, and it's like, man, I talked to you. So we're familiar with each other and get a chance to meet, but never in life would you have. Because they're on the other side of the country and just happen to be at the same show.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, you're right about that, because even I just I'll post a link for that too, but I was just on the Caddy Chronicles out of Atlanta, Georgia. Same thing happened there where one of the guys was actually from Ohio. And I apologize because I know I'm gonna butcher the name, but I want to say his name was like Nathan, but he spelled it with an 8. But once again, I'll post his information so you guys can.
I honestly think I might even know who you're talking about.
But yeah, he had an 8 in his name, and that's how I remembered him, was by the way he spelled it. But with that being said, it was like, I'm in Atlanta doing this Caddy Chronicles. He came from Ohio, drove down to do the Caddy Chronicles, and we happened to be at the same spot at the same time. And was like, yo, like let's work, like let's link up. He's actually got some work he's doing right now with La Russell, so he's been
nice.
Doing some things as well too. So it's just like, dang, like we're all in the like we're from different parts of the map, but we doing the same thing. But I'm gonna switch it on you real quick. So you're from Ohio.
Yes.
You're from which part?
Man, I'm from Canton, Akron,
Okay.
home of the Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, you guys heard that, right? So how you from Ohio, but you rocking J's on your feet?
Man, very easily, because LeBron, I played, ironically, when I was in high school, I got to play against LeBron.
No shit.
Man, he is the biggest, I'm going to leave that alone, but, like, literally, he's not a very nice person. Like, he's not, like, a kind individual. So when you get to a point within your career, whatever it be, where you forget where you came from, and, man, I can't support that. Like, to be from where you from, and literally, like, you from the dirt, to grow into some superstar and just really not be a kind individual, man, be humble, like you said. Be humble for where you are, because it can all go away. Especially being an athlete, all it takes is one injury, and you out the game for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Man, and not to appreciate that and just to be egotistical isn't something I value or support within inside of my life. So it's like, man, plus Jordan, man, that's the GOAT. Man, this dude literally, I remember the fadeaway jumper against the Cavs. Come on, Mark Price.
Yeah.
Mark Price, I'm a 42-year-old individual, so it's like, man, I grew up in the era, man, LeBron, he's still a child.
Yeah.
He's roughly the same age. We was in high school together, I was a senior, he was a freshman, but literally, man, Jordan's the GOAT, hands down. And the shoes, man, classics.
So I gotta ask, do you own any LeBrons?
No, I do not. I had a couple pairs.
Got 'em,
and they
coach.
sat on the shelf.
Yo, it's funny you say that because I literally have one pair of LeBrons in my closet. I've not even taken them out the box, yo.
Nah, they sat on the shelf and I never wore them ever. And I'm like, why do I even have these? And I ended up donating them.
Yeah, I bought them because I was like, ooh, they're a deal. And
Yes.
literally, I was like, they're LeBrons. I can't wear them.
Man, and it's not even necessarily they don't look right. They don't look right. They look nice and whatever if that's your style, but for me, man, I'm an 80s baby. Them is for the new age. Man, you gotta be a 2000s kid to even understand what a LeBron is. The little lion on it, bro. Come on now. The Bulls. Man, I'm a Taurus.
Yeah.
I can't wear that, but a LeBron, no, never.
Oh shit. That's funny. Yeah. No, I'm not. I never was a LeBron fan, but at one point I did respect him until he traded himself to the Miami Heat.
Exactly.
That's when I lost respect.
Man,
for
he
him.
does this thing in Akron where he comes in every year and they do a bicycle thing. And they give bike away to some kids. They give a whole bunch away. And I really think that's based on his PR. Because when I met the man years later after playing basketball, man, I see him at the hotel. I'm sitting there eating some chicken wings, ironically. And yes, and he walks through, but he was the biggest dick.
Hold up.
Literally the complete asshole. And I'm like, bro, literally, who are you? I know where your mom came from, bro, and I know the project she in. No disrespect to the man, but man, come on now. You can't act like this and be where you from. Because literally, you got lucky and was birthed for what you do.
Yeah.
Man, you got to be born to be that kind of athlete. And when he played, man, phenomenal player. I sit on the bench. I'm little, I'm shorter than the fucking, there's no way on earth I'm playing. But I made the team, so I'm sitting there for St. Thomas Aquinas. And it's weird because as I'm sitting there, I'm watching this man play hoop. And it's like nothing on life. Phenomenal basketball player. But man, be humble. Understand that you were born for that. So it's not something you learned how to do. Man, you were born there. There's nothing else you could have done in life. I'm sure you could have gone to prison. Being where you're from, that's literally the easiest route for anybody from them type of areas. So it's for you to avoid all that, cool, salute. I appreciate the fact that, you took the high road. But because you did, doesn't mean that, you're any better than anybody. Yeah. And your PR got you out here giving the bike away. Because if it was up to you, you'd have kept that money.
Wow.
Yeah, literally. I said that.
Wow. But you're right though, because like the PR people is what make them shine in the limelight.
Right, and Jordan no different, man. This man out here in Indonesia just building shoes with people working in his, I'm not even gonna go there either. But literally, like, man, it take a lot to be a humble, kind, caring individual. And most of these people, when they get to that kind of level, forget that what it's even like getting to that level. Mm-hmm. It take a lot to get there. So to be appreciative of that, man, speaks of volumes.
Yeah. Man,
and to forget that, like, you forget where you was at in high school, or man, for Jordan, you didn't even make the team. Right, you got cut. Man, come on, remember those days.
And it's funny you mention that, because it's like, it makes you wonder how well the team must have performed to cut him. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
They must have had to have been like some crazy ballers.
Or the lack of skill that the man had fundamentally at that point.
Yeah. But there had to have been something, because you're just like, there's no way that this guy I'm watching on TV is the same guy that got cut. Like, something didn't add up.
Man,
Like,
you ever seen the Phenomenal Five or Fantastic Five or whatever it is about LeBron when he was in high school? Man, that team was crazy unreal. Like, nothing I've ever seen before. Like, you got 5 people that are playing on this team that all are superstars. Mm-hmm. Man, and they're from, like, literally the middle of the gutter.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Rosemary Projects, Akron, Ohio. Like, they're from the hood. Like, so to make it where all these people, man, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
There's no reason on earth that you got that many people on a team that are all that good. And most of them went to all play professional ball, whether it was, playing in the NBA or they're playing overseas in Europe, or, like, they're all phenomenal basketball players.
Yeah.
Nobody from my team, nobody made it to go play overseas or anywhere. We got lumped. Wow. But it was cool to sit back on the bench and be able to watch this, because, like, literally you're watching the NBA in high school is like nothing I've ever seen. Yeah. To see greatness play at that level of the game, man, is unreal. Like, LeBron, he dunking the ball, like literally the man was born for it.
Yeah. We, coming out of Washington, we've had quite a few athletes that have gone pro, like, B-Roy and Nate Robinson and all those guys.
Right.
But one that really was crazy to me out of all of those guys was one of the colleges I attended was Highline Community College.
Nice.
And at the time that I went there, Brian Scalabrine used to play for them. So Brian Scalabrine went to Highline Community College, transferred, went to USC, then played pro, and then wins a championship with the Boston Celtics. So for me, it was kind of surreal, because it was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing, we used to kick it around campus and do, just going to class and doing things, but same thing. Like, he never got big-headed. He always stayed just like, hey, what's up, man? And he just have conversation.
And that's a great quality to have as a human.
Yeah. To
be able to remain humble and be who you are amidst, like, a life that, most dream of.
Yeah.
That you just really just kind of fell into. But it takes a lot of hard work, don't get me wrong. It takes a lot of hard work to get there.
Yeah.
But to get there and finally achieve that, man, and not forget what it took to get there.
Mm-hmm. So I gotta ask, who do you follow in college sports? Like, what?
Man, I'm Ohio State Buckeyes, man. When I was growing up, literally, like, man, I had a scholarship to go play baseball at Ohio State. As basically a freshman in high school, and just blew it all off. Like, I didn't, at that point I quit playing ball and was just like, man, I got better things to do. Man, blew the whole thing away. Man, I kick myself now. But I I tore a rotator cuff, so, like, playing football, ended up getting injured, and it kind of ruined everything at that point my sophomore year anyway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, like, I'm an Ohio State fan all day, every day. The Buckeyes, man, but USC is nice. Man, as a school, you can't really do much better than USC or Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking, like, major colleges, man. Like, and for me, like, going to LA Film School, like, for music, it is beautiful. The campus in Hollywood is amazing. That's actually part of the reason I moved out this way. Being from Ohio, I'm still back home. I'm dealing with craziness with inside of my life and my personal being. So it was like, I'm already in school online for LA film. I'm trying to relocate. I'm like, let's go to LA. You know, everybody on earth, is a musician or whatever, they want to go to LA. They want to be in Hollywood. They want to see, man, Hollywood is the darkest, most demonic place I've ever been in my life.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Man, talking about I will sell titties and smoke meth for money, or like, you know, little signs that people holding up, just laying on the sidewalk homeless in Hollywood. And I'm just like, wow, this is insanity. The energy that you can feel walking up and down Hollywood and the boulevard. But the school happens to be in Hollywood as well. So it was like, man, to go to the campus and feel the energy there with inside of the studios, man, let me know music was everything to me. Man, to be able to feel that energy. You're watching people making beats with spoons on a table, taking that one sound and create an entire piece with just the tapping of a spoon on a table, from the bass to the snares to the hi-hats and just with some manipulation of the sound.
Yeah.
Man, I've never seen nothing like that in my life. People playing guitar inside of the lab, and I'm like, wow, I got to do this. My dude's there, and ironically, like, he doesn't even have his high school diploma, but he's going with me because he A, didn't tell me he didn't have his diploma, and B, is the most talented artist I've ever met, one of them, and freestyles like Cassidy. Like freestyles like crazy, and he's from Philly, so it's like he's got that whole demeanor of like artistry, you know, the voice, everything, you can tell, straight Philly. And man, so we're in there, man, he's walking around. Finally we get to the end, he's like, you know, like, well, you know, cool, he's kind of voicing along to these people about how he's gonna come back, and he tells me, like, bro, I can't go there. You know, I don't even have a diploma, like, I can't, you know, there's no way they'll accept me. I'm like, bro, why'd you come? He's like, man, to support you. And I'm like, at that point, I knew I was in the right place. Man, my dude, shout out Toast. Man, my guy from LA, he met me. I've never met this dude in my life. And my people from Jersey sent me out there. So I touched down. My guy picks me up at the Greyhound station. I rode a Greyhound from Ohio to LA. Man, craziest experience ever. You get to see everything throughout the whole country.
Oh, yeah.
Man, from the rock bottom to the top, like, you see everything. Man, I see people fucking in a bush, like, it's just wild. But, like, man, so I get to LA, and it was just the craziest situation. I got to go to the LA Riders Motorcycle Club on my birthday. Man, I am the only white man anywhere in Compton. Literally with a hooker that I met inside of the Airbnb I was staying at. She's like, oh yeah, it's my birthday too, the day before mine. No, ironically, so she takes me to this motorcycle club. I end up meeting the owner and like literally the head guy in the motorcycle club. We start talking money because, man, as a graphic designer, man, I'm instantly trying to pitch these cats. Like, it don't matter, money speak. You know, like, people are looking at me like I'm crazy for being in Compton. I had chains dangling everywhere, people looking at me like I'm strange, like I'm from a foreign country. But it ended up being the coolest situation ever, and I met some of the most down-to-earth individuals. Man, shout out to the LA Riders, man, the coolest people ever. Man, I almost ended up sleeping with a bartender, it was nuts. I'm sleeping in a fucking, I ended up sleeping at an ice cream stand right down the street in my guy's van. Like, literally just drove there, I'm like, fuck it, you know, like, it's 4 in the morning when the club closes. Man, 4 to 6 they close.
Wow.
With 2 hours to clean up and then open back up again.
Yeah.
Man, members only. Everybody's smoking tree in the building, and I'm like, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Man, I'm in heaven for being from Ohio, because in the Midwest, you don't see nothing like that.
Yeah, because like that's how it is in New York too, because the clubs out there closed at 4. So, you know, going from being in New York coming all the way back to Seattle was like, oh, they closed at 1:15? What kind of shit is this? Like,
Right.
I'm just getting warmed up on this, you know, DJing. Right. I'm like, I'm just getting warmed up.
It was
like,
wild.
Yeah.
You know, and they got like the club, the LA Riders Motorcycle Club, for anybody that is familiar. You got a bar on one side, and you got a club on the other. So it's literally 2 halves of the same building where they're playing nothing but locals. And the music was phenomenal. And I'm sitting back, I'm like, man, this is exactly where I need to be. And then I start looking at prices for housing and all that. Man, $3,000 to stay in an apartment in Compton. No. So I ended up, I'm broke. I came with $500 with my backpack and a laptop all the way to the West Coast. Man, everything's spent. As a designer, I'm sitting there trying to hustle to go ahead and sell the design to get somewhere. Man, and the only thing I could afford was a trip to Modesto. So I catch a Greyhound to Modesto, and from there I sell some artwork. I'm sleeping on a bench inside of the Greyhound till the next day to catch the bus to Seattle. Ended up here, and like I was telling you earlier, like I got people that I deal with that happen to be from Stafford Creek. So like I didn't realize it was so close, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you know, and I booked a whole tour from the Tacoma Mission. Booked a whole tour. Went to Nebraska, man, Kansas, South Dakota. Man, I ended up in Vegas for a second, you know, California, and this whole musical tour based off my back that I'm grinding from a homeless shelter to build. Man, I made absolutely no money. Almost got stabbed in Nebraska, stuck there, had to walk 10 miles to the Greyhound because the chick was nuts.
10 miles to the Greyhound?
Insane, with a backpack and my
Wow.
suitcase and everything, and like this chick was like, I'm calling the cops on you. I tried to what? You tried to stab me. I packed everything, walked. You know, it's the middle of the night, 3 in the morning. I'm walking. I don't care. You are not calling nobody on me. I didn't do nothing wrong.
Wow.
Like, so then I end up, man, right back here in Washington. At that point, I realized this is where I need to be, and I'm supposed to be. So I stayed out here.
Wow, that's
Ended up in Texas for a little bit. Same situation. Caught a case. Ended up looking at 16 years. Man, beat the case because there's nothing to hold me to that. Like, so right back to Washington. Like, okay, I see you. Thank you, universe. Like, thank you for directing me where I need to be. Like, I'm staying put. Man, I ended up in Atlanta for a little bit. Same thing too. I get to Atlanta. The guy pays for my whole flight, everything. I get there. He quits his job to try and buy my business with no money, to literally hope I'm just going to give him a part of my business, and doesn't have money to get me home. His grandmother ended up paying for me to come home because she was disappointed in her grandson for even trying to pull some funny shit and bring me out there. Nicest woman on earth. But man, I love my grandma, rest in heaven. You know, like, so like, to understand where this man comes from is he's pitching this huge story about how hood he is and ghetto and this and that, to find out that he actually comes from a nice home and a nice family. You know, inside of a suburb that's not far from where, you know, like, what's his name? Tyler Perry stays. Not far from Six Flags. And you being from Atlanta, you've been there. Like, you know where Six Flags is. Man, that's the gutter. Like, man, I'm in this hotel there after the first 6 days where I'm there. He's got me in this lavish spot. Man, I'm like, cool, this is amazing. You walk through an atrium and you're like in this hotel, and I'm like, thank you. Money runs out. Now it's okay. Now man, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Now I'm stuck there and I got no money to stick myself by Six Flags. So I'm in the middle of the hood, man, but that was the best place ever to be when you're down there because I'm in the strip clubs and I'm having a blast. Yeah. You know, but like people selling crack across the street, and I'm just like, wow, this reminds me of home, but this also reminds me of home, so I know where I'm at. Like, I don't really need to be here being a white guy with chains dangling everywhere. Like, I'm not welcome here. Yeah. Like, everybody see me as a target instantly. Man, and I don't care. You know, like, I'm a cool individual, so like, I'll be me everywhere. Man, I'll survive anywhere I'm at because I've seen a lot. Man, I know what to avoid. I know what to embrace.
Man, I will tell you one thing I was trying to avoid. So I'm at this hotel, and I ain't gonna say no names, y'all. But I will say this. For those of y'all who know me, know I'm very bougie, right? I drive a Maserati. You know, I customize everything. Like, I'm bougie. So I get to Atlanta the first night, and it's humid. Like, the humid in Atlanta is very different from like anything I've ever.
Your sweat dripping.
Yeah, I've lived in New York, you know, upstate New York. You know, my mom was from Flatbush. You know, like, I've been around the country, but it's nothing like what you experience in Atlanta. So
man, it's hot.
So I get there, it's 100 degrees plus the humidity, right?
Feel like 120.
Yeah, so I'm okay. I do mean I'm okay
for the first 10 minutes.
So I'm like, you know what? Hey, it's hot out. Let me just go for a stroll. I'm just gonna go for a walk. So I walk from my hotel room and I'm just, you know, following my GPS, and it's like, hey, go, you know, over here to get to some food. So I'm like, okay. But what you don't know is that, like, okay, so for those of y'all in Washington, you might hear some, you know, some frogs, you know, like if you go down to like Coulon Beach or something like that, right? You'll hear frogs, you know, ribbit, right? Well,
till you get down south.
What I heard in the South was not frogs. I couldn't tell you what it was until I saw what it was. So I'm probably like half a mile from my hotel. I'm walking on the sidewalk, and all of a sudden, all I see is these hissing cockroaches just like 30 of them, and they wasn't just chilling. They was like, you know what I'm saying? And they was like, I was like,
Palmetto bugs.
Oh my goodness.
Man, we got them down in Florida.
Woo!
They live inside of the palm trees. They stink like crazy, and like they're the size of my hand.
Yeah, I don't.
They fly.
Man, I'm telling you, when I see these motherfuckers crawling out on the street and shit, I was doing the Heisman, trying to step away from all these.
Right, that's like seeing a cockroach the size of a cat.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Cause yeah, them motherfuckers, they was balling. They was trying to eat me that night.
Oh yeah, man, them things is no joke, man. You see them, like I said, down in Florida. They literally live in the palm trees, and like you can hear them, and it's like you have no idea what you're really looking at until you're staring one in the face, and it's gonna eat you alive. I can't stand it.
Yeah, man.
Worst creature I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've been to Florida, and because I went to Orlando a couple of times. But there were some creatures down there that I swear I've never seen since. Like they had like their own breed of critters down there, and it was just like it was.
I'm glad I like it here. You don't got nothing extra.
Yeah, I'm glad I was visiting and not living there.
Other than the rain, but I mean I can deal with the rain.
Yeah, compared to those, the cockroaches and shit.
The rain.
Yeah,
you got to live out here.
I'll deal with the rain because I was like, man, I'm not trying to fuck with them critters.
Nah, man, that's definitely you got to be like that. What's his name? The guy who died, passed away wrestling alligators. Like you got to be that type of individual to live in the South.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mention that. Did you ever see the TikTok meme? There was there was this guy who apparently was trying to help save a shark, and like he was.
What you thinking?
Yeah, so he's like basically like on the shoreline, and he was trying to help save a shark and like push the shark back out into the water, and like
apparently that shark pushed back.
The shark ended up eating him. I'm like, you so fucking stupid, bro. Right. But I was just like, why y'all trying to help wild animals? Like did y'all? Hopefully some of y'all who watch this show saw what happened to the killer whale who just ate the person at what was it? What's the name of that? SeaWorld. So
Shamu.
Yeah, so one of the killer whales, maybe it was Shamu, decided to eat its trainer. Rest in peace.
Man, he was still hungry. I guarantee it. That's a whale. When you're gonna eat a human and think you full, like come on, that was a tidbit.
Yeah, like
it's like eating an hors d'oeuvre somewhere. Like that mother was still hungry.
Yeah, like I'm not making fun of her passing away, but it's just like
definitely not.
When y'all play with wild animals, man, like that's like black people going in the water. You just say no. We just know. Hey,
what you expect walking through a fire? You walk in a flame and expect not to get roasted like a marshmallow?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You deal with a killer whale. What do you think? Wrestling an alligator. What do you think is gonna happen? Like literally, you gotta be the dumbest motherfucker on earth to have some shit like that or be hella trained.
Yeah. But even if you train, you never know. It takes
no, that's a whale.
It takes 1 second for that motherfucker to be like, yo, I'm not having it today. Bye.
Yes.
Deuces.
Right.
You can't sue him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're going to lose an arm, a leg, 10 toes, 12 toes if you got them. Like,
man, you stay 10 toes until the motherfucker eat them off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You losing something. You're not walking out of that much.
Nah.
Oh, man. That's a trip.
Right, no, it's completely wild, the things that happen in this earth, like, and like the possibilities of things that can happen. You know, it's like I said, it's a blessing to be able to be here and, do things the way that we do things. Because not everybody has the opportunity to live life the way they want to.
True.
And I don't got another way to live. That's survival. People like, oh yeah, no, there's no other option. Like when I came out here, I left it, so there was no option. I don't know a soul. I'm going to, all the way to the West Coast without knowing a person other than the guy picking me up. And I've never met him in my life. I'm meeting him for the first time as he picks me up at the Greyhound. Ended up just being cool people because the universe will take you where you're supposed to be if you allow it to. Man, you start fighting it and wrestling against the current, you end up drowning.
Yeah.
Man, you just gotta let it take you. Man, ride the wave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, it ain't gonna take you to some crazy places, but man, it's always for purpose.
Yeah. So speaking of which, for those of you who didn't know, I got connected to Remy Muzik through one of my boys, my boy Harrison Little.
Yeah, MB.
So
The homie.
So how did that connection work? So
Man,
like,
shout out Money Making Prince.
Yep. Money Making Prince is gonna be on the show hopefully either today or tomorrow. But
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my guy, man. We
Yeah.
got a couple hot tracks, man. He just dropped Easy. Man, I'm on the chorus for that joint. Super fire song. And then we got Solid Soldier, which I actually dropped last year. Which is another great song featuring Money Making Prince, man. That's my guy. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, man, Money Making Prince, went through some things, and unfortunately, had to disappear for a little bit. But during the process, his guy MB, starts, man, we come around, met a couple times, man. He's one of the people that stayed touched down with me the whole time. In Walker, Montana, shout out Walker.
Yes.
That's the guy too.
Yes, Walker, Montana. I got a song with him called My Way. So
what's his name? I know exactly who. Man.
So me and Walker, Montana did My Way about a year ago now, and I
did the cover art for that.
So, no shit.
Yeah. Small world. Yeah, that's family.
Wow. Yeah. And what's crazy too is that everybody's been asking to perform My Way, right? Perform My Way. Perform My Way. I can't get Walker to perform it. So
man, getting Walker out the building is like a whole hassle sometimes because he's very much like a person of his own.
Yeah, he really is. So we don't get a chance to perform that. But now that Money Making Prince is back, we actually funny story. So we shoot the video for My Way. The following month we're shooting the video for Block Villain. Well, I didn't know it till the day of, but the day that we're supposed to shoot Block Villain, M&P gets locked up. So I've already paid for the videographer to be there, all the extras, the dancers that was supposed to have been in the video. So I was like, I gotta shoot the video. I can't cancel everybody. So we ended up shooting the video. Video, was making some moves. But now M&P's back, so he just hit me up literally yesterday and was like, "Yo, we got to reshoot the Block Villain video." And I was like, "Okay, yeah."
Man, let me know. I'll pull up for that joint, man. Literally, because that's the homie, man. Out of all the people I do know here, that I've met throughout my whole process of being in Washington, man, P is literally one of the coolest cats.
Yeah,
man, cool as a cucumber. Ain't nobody on earth that calm and collected that I've met, and still, you're hella talented.
Yeah. He actually just got recognized by Game 365 podcast for being one of the best in the I-5 North, and so I was like, man, salute, because what I'm saying, that's a lot of respect to have people recognize you that that way.
Yes, man, Solid Soldier. That was a song that we recorded. This man's in a halfway house. Shows up at the crib on a home visit. Man, the first beat I ever sold, man, was that joint. Man, we went ahead, he's like, oh yeah, I gotta get on that. And we went ahead and dropped on it, and then man, I ended up, that's one of the few songs that I started singing on, and I'm like, oh yeah, I feel this. But yeah, man, that's my guy, man. What up, P?
Yeah. So he's supposed to be on the show. He's one of the artists that's going to be in the series for all the artists. So he's definitely going to tap in. We got a lot to talk about because we've done a couple of songs too. We did Block Villain and another song called E, which was him and Trey Black. Yeah. See, and this is what's crazy. See, people aren't always paying attention to what's going on behind the scenes. What I mean by that is, see, as a U.S. artist, I've only been out for 1 year. The very first song that I dropped as a U.S. artist, because remember, my career started in Canada.
Right.
The very first song I dropped was E. And people don't realize I had a Blood and a Crip on the very first song that I dropped as a U.S. artist.
It's funny you say that.
Sounds familiar, right, Kendrick?
Man, when we started our record label, Fan Gang Entertainment, that was the purpose behind everything. Being from Canton, Ohio, the home of the Football Hall of Fame, man, it was the Bloods and the Crips together. We used to throw up two knuckles, two fists together. Hall of Fame with the little H, but what it meant was the basis of the red flag and the blue flag together as one throughout the city. And it was about unity and bringing the city together as a whole through music.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So my shout out to P, shout out to Trey Black. Trey Black's got an episode on the artist series as well. So we'll have both P, Trey Black, Remy Muzik all on that series. So man, it's it's been full circle because truthfully, Harrison Little, who's also going to be on this series later, he's on a different episode, but he's actually the one who connected me with you, connected me with P, connected me with Trey Black.
Man, MB's got a whole network full of people. He hit me like, bro, I need you.
Yeah.
What's happening? I need a feature. Man, just say less.
Yeah.
You know, I'm there. And this is, to be real, like I told you, this is the first song I've actually recorded in a pretty decent amount of time. Because like for the last few years, I've been on a little hiatus with school and literally trying to get my business end together of everything.
Right.
And, you know, I started making beats. And it was like my focus completely left the recording artistry and focused on like the production side of things. And it's like, man, I forgot how much I really love being on the microphone. Man, the art and ability to write a song and record that is like no other when you hear it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, man. I was spending a lot of time in the booth, you know, recording song after song after song, you know. But now it's really more, at least for me, like I got to get out and perform and let people hear the music because it's like, you know, I'm promoting the, you know, songs online, but the problem is it's not targeted audiences.
Right, they got
like,
to put a face to the song and be able to associate it together.
And just vibe out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the hard part for me right now is just being able to just vibe out where I get the chance to interact with people. Cause you know, like I'll do shows and they'll have me open and it's like, I have no problem being an opener.
I actually prefer the first spot. Cause you get to jump the whole thing off and you get to put that energy out.
Yeah.
Because like, man, you set the tone.
Yeah.
But it can also be very disappointing because the people there at the beginning,
they're not there.
Right.
Like that's the hard part, you know. I'll spend like $1,500 to put on a show. They put me on first and it's like 90% of the audience didn't get a chance to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like, for me, that's where I'm struggling because I'm just like, man, I love doing shows. I love vibing with the crowd.
Yes.
I don't need to be a closer, but at least
that's a horrible spot to be in too, though.
You know, at least give me the opportunity to perform in front of people where when they actually hear it, they go, wow, Sos Dior is different.
Right.
And actually get a chance to hear the music. You know, because otherwise, like a lot of times, you know, people will come by and they'll just be like, oh yeah, so you perform? Oh, okay, cool. But they don't connect with me because
they didn't get to see the performance.
They didn't get to see it.
No,
yeah.
they just see you there. And I mean, it's good that they're seeing the face and they're putting it together, but like literally without hearing the music, you're just another artist to people. And that's a shame because your music is crazy talented.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into my music.
No, I completely know. Like to even from the video shoot of the B-side, like literally the strength that you put behind everything that you do. Man, from all of this, man, just salute, bro, because, man, you got a passion that is very rare.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that, because, you know, like, I really work hard on my craft. Like,
no, you got to, man. It takes few and far between that actually desire it. Man, people want to be an artist, and they want to this or that, but they don't know what it really takes.
Yeah.
Man, to put everything you have behind something and a dream of you know, something greater than yourself, man, it takes a lot. And very few people have that tenacity to really push through everything. And bro, you do. And I salute that 1000%. And it's all visible. Like literally, like you put everything you got in this.
Yeah.
Man, few people do that. And man, like a lot of people, oh yeah, I'm an artist. No, you're not. No, you're not. You get up on stage for a minute and you vibe out, but you don't know your lyrics and you don't know this or that. You just out here trying to get some clout. Bro, you're not an artist. You're a fan. You like music, so you thought you'd do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that I'll be honest, like I struggle with that because it's like, you know, when I see people getting clout or getting recognized, and it's like, man, like in 24, just in the year of 24, I shot 100 music videos. I couldn't tell you how many albums I produced during the year of 2000.
I struggle through the same thing, bro, because I put everything in my heart towards this.
Yeah.
And people, like, a lot of people don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because if I can reach one person, man, I'm winning.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like, for me, I don't care about winning over the masses, but I will say,
nice.
like, you're right. It would be nice. You know, but at the end of the day, I remained true to myself. I didn't change up my lyrics to try to fit, you know, somebody else's agenda. I didn't sell out.
Man, your purpose
You know?
might be on a greater basis than being somebody that literally, like, sits in a position where, like, we think we might need to be. Because literally, like, if you can help somebody elevate themselves, or, you know, you can show somebody something that they didn't know,
Yeah.
man, like that's literally the whole purpose of life is to be able to go ahead and literally just win. And you know, like winning isn't always what I expected it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's literally, you know, being able to change somebody's perspective.
Yeah.
Which is wild because like that's never what I expected. I did this for therapy. Music was therapy. It was a way to voice myself. But to be able to lead somebody on a path that might get them somewhere different.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why for me at the end of the day, like, you know, like, because I just did the episode yesterday with Antonio Cuts, and we kind of briefly touched on that, but, you know, like, for me, to your point, it is therapy, because music really saved my life, because at one point, I tried to commit suicide 13 times.
Me too.
And, you know, I don't really talk about it a lot anymore. I used to talk about it, but I suffered from mental depression, but not from the perspective of like drugs and alcohol. I suffered because I never fit in with crowds. And like I was trying to be accepted for who I am, and people wouldn't recognize that.
Man, that's the same thing I struggle with myself.
Yeah. So it was deep, and so like, you know, I checked myself into a mental hospital because I was like, hey, I feel signs of mental depression. I'm not sure what it is or why, but hopefully, you know, we can like try to talk it out. And then basically they like put me in a ward with a bunch of anorexics and bulimics and was like, hey, like you're a threat to the community. I'm like, wait, I checked myself in, like, what are you talking about? Like,
oh wow.
You know, and so like I got treated as like I was a threat to the community. For those of you who don't understand what that means, like they lock you down. Like,
yeah.
You know, they literally handcuff you.
They put you in a turtle suit.
You know what I'm saying? They tie you, you know, you're locked in a you know, however big the room is, but you get locked down and you're treated like a criminal. And it was like, I'm not a criminal. I'm not stolen from anyone. I'm attending Stanford University for law school.
Salute to that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it was really eye-opening how you get treated, because I literally walked myself in and was like, hey, I feel like forms of depression are starting to come on. How do I overcome it? And I was just looking for counseling.
Oh, here, let me go ahead and put you in some cuffs, basically, and lock you in a room. Like, that'll help.
Yeah, so when you're sitting there thinking you're trying to ask for help and counseling, and that's how you get treated, it changes your whole perspective. And
shies you away from ever asking for help again when it might be very needed.
Yeah, you know, and so when you start looking at, like, these people who actually go on these crazy massacres and stuff, it really makes you wonder, because it's like,
yeah, white people.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did they ask for help and people just turn them away? Like, so for me, I have a very different opinion towards how I look at them, because I'm like, yeah, they might have killed 13 people, but that was their
they
way.
Were pushed to that point.
Right, where it was like, in order for me to get some type of answer, I needed to go to that extreme.
Man, when you're pushed to a point that nobody hears you and you're screaming loud, then sometimes you feel like there's no other option but to scream louder. And sometimes, you know, unfortunately, that means things that, you know, are very, very tragic.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, for me, it's hard, because I see it from both sides of the fence. Like, yeah, you don't want to be the one who loses a loved one over it, but at the same time, when that person's asking for help, we just brush it off, and it's like, oh, hey.
Right. What about the person's loved one that's going through all that?
Yeah. You know, so it's deep on both sides.
Right.
But I know we're getting close to time, so I did want to ask you, what is one tip or trick, because you work in the music industry, what is one tip or trick that you want to leave the fans with,
man,
on how to like move forward with their
push? Man, forget what anybody got to say about what you do. Man, tenacity, you know, dedication, perseverance, it's everything. No matter what everybody got to say or anybody got to say, because believe me, I've dealt with a whole lot of hate in my career. Man, somebody is going to like what you got to do regardless. You know, music is not for everybody. Your song might not be for that person, but it's for somebody else.
Yeah.
Man, keep pushing and do what you do, not because you want people to like you, not because you feel like you need to get somewhere, but do it because you love it. Do it because you got a passion, and do it because it feels right.
You know, and truthfully speaking, God gave you the gift to be able to create that song. Create that song, because that song may not be meant for you, it might be meant for that person who receives it.
Man, a lot of the songs I played for you earlier, bro, they're 12 years old.
Yeah.
Still relevant. Like,
You know, because sometimes, like, you know, it might not be for the masses, but it might be for that one person. And that one person out of the 7 to 9 billion people in the world, that one person who needed it, it helps change their trajectory and sends them on their path to where they need to go. Yes, agreed.
And that's literally, I mean, I got goosebumps right now. Because look, that's the exact reason that I started doing music, was to, A, help myself through everything I was dealing with, and be able to like understand my thought process mentally. After a whole lot of tragedy and you know, trauma and things through life, it was a way for me to voice how I felt without being able to speak it. So it's like, you know, to be able to do such in a way that, you know, now people are like, bro, like I felt that, you know, I can understand where you come from, and you know, thank you.
Yeah.
And man, that was everything to me. At that point, I'm like, cool, man, I've done what I came to do.
Yeah.
Man, now I just keep going and go further.
Yeah.
You know, instead of one person, let me reach 10.
Yeah.
Let me reach 100. Man, but because I reached one, man, I'm already doing what's needed. My purpose is filled. Like.
Yep. And speaking of purpose, we're gonna hold that thought until next time. And in addition to that, as part of the new artist series, we got a special guest. Or we got Remy Muzik performing one of his songs. What song are you gonna be performing?
Man, it's called The One. And I actually had titled it Hella Crazy. Because emotionally, as I said, you know, like my music is based all off emotion. I was going through some traumatic things as far as like a relationship shift and everything. And like, I felt like, you know, the toxicity between a relationship is very crazy sometimes. So I wrote this song and it's called Hella Crazy because, you know, the females in life will drive you hella crazy. You know, with love, with anger, with pain, with just, you know, everything. And it was just, it's engulfing. Yeah. So I wrote this song, and it's called Hella Crazy, and John Silva ended up doing the engineering on the song. My guy Marcus Boyd Beats ended up producing the track. Man, y'all gonna get a glimpse of it, man. But man, it's literally one of the very few songs that I sing on throughout basically the whole song. You know, there's a lot of melodic music, but man, it's kind of like the new era of what I do as an artist, trying to touch like a different side of myself.
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to get right back to it. Until then, you know who it is and what it is. Remy Muzik, Sos Dior, the Chop It Up podcast. Stay tuned for the live performance. We out.
Never give up, gotta keep it pushing. Got a family to feed, can't be out here looking stupid. Dollars make sense, this music really cooking. I promised I'ma make it, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I took a lot of losses, but I'm still standing. Still in the struggle, but promise that I can handle it. Brought myself up out the soil, a Taurus diamond in the rough. This music feel the energy that I project. Through times get tough, but I still got this. The message clear, I'm really about this. The lyrics save my life, ain't got no doubt about it. Tell me I can't do it, I'ma do it twice. So let me grab the mic, this here's my life, it's Remy.
Check it out, y'all. You know what time it is. We got our live performance coming up. Want to introduce my man Remy Muzik, who will be performing Hella Crazy today, produced by Marcus Boyd Beats. Let's get into it.
I ain't trying to play no games. Come on, girl, let's get it. Something I don't think we've been the same. Come here, let me get that love. I ain't trying to play no games. Let me tell you one thing. Girl, you got me hella crazy. I know you've been through it so fast, so let's not go on waste of time. Let me help you unwind your mind as well as blunt. Start this conversation. You and I pop this next move. Money and Clyde to keep it real, yo. I ain't trying to play no games. Come on, girl, let's get it. Do something I know that they've been the same. Tell me, let me get that love. I ain't trying to play no games. Let me tell you one thing. Girl, you got me hella crazy. I feeling got me stressing. I don't know what's in my heart, my mind. I feel grabbing at my soul, legs shaking every time that I go around. Pussy wet, I did it down. I ain't fucking with no clown, no. Baby, I be feeling like shit too. Over here, see what I do, go. Open up your vision. Sprinkle like seal for dinner. Swear I got this girl, you only fucking with her when I tryna play no games with you, I'ma go get a money on my mind, I'm stacking up, go be a cold when I'm with her, I'm trying to stay fat, nigga keep my pockets heavy while I'm blowing on these tracks, tell me if you got my back and that is real, when you listen to my lyrics, can you feel how I feel, the only thing that's on my mind, broke an elevation, and ask you baby, can you be patient, can you be patient, tryna play no games, come on girl, let's get it, something, I know that you've been the same. I ain't trying to play no games. Can he tell you one day? Girl, you got me hella crazy. I ain't trying to play no games. Come on, girl, let's get it. Tell me, I know this has been the same. Let me get love. I ain't trying to play no games. Can he tell you one day? Girl, you got me hella crazy.
We be going over time. Take it, limits. We be going over time. We be going over time. We be going over time. Take it, limits. We be going over time.